Hey, what is up, everybody? This is Stevie Breach coming to you here. To me, honestly, the biggest thing that is going to happen on the SmackDown episode number 1000 on Tuesday night on Sci-Fi is going to be the Evolution reunion. This honestly could be the biggest thing to happen in WWE in quite some time that hopefully sets up what is going to happen for WWE at WrestleMania involving Triple H and Batista. A lot of people have been clamoring for Batista return to WWE. Definitely, if you think of Batista's last run in WWE at WrestleMania 30, where Batista came back, he won the Royal Rumble. He was slated to have Batista versus Randy Orton as to be one of the main event matches of WrestleMania 30, only for Daniel Bryan to have the biggest, crowd reactions that WWE has seen in quite some time. Definitely, it's the one thing that the fans have really clamored to, that they really wanted that to happen more than anything else at the time, that WWE gave in and put Daniel Bryan in that match, sort of, giving Batista that cold shoulder, maybe trying to make him feel like his return didn't really pay off the way that they thought it was going to. Batista ended up, wrestling at WrestleMania 30. He was the guy who tapped out to make Bryan the champion. Batista would go on to wrestle two matches as teaming with Randy Orton and Triple H against The Shield. Both of those matches, honestly, were awesome. The last match that Batista was in is when it paid off as Blue-Tista, him coming out all in blue. Which sort of was out of the middle of nowhere, and the fans on Twitter just, that took off to the point where it got its own figure through WWE, and Batista even brings it up that it was one of the things that the fans really hooked on that he did, that paid off more than anything else, that whole run in WWE. But Batista and Triple H had their implosion of Evolution the next night on Monday Night Raw. That looked like they were trying to set up the next year's WrestleMania, with Batista sort of being shunned by Triple H by wanting to go off and film his movie that Triple H didn't think was going to be a success. WWE really didn't get behind it. If you can remember, WWE didn't really feature it with commercials. They didn't really feature Batista as becoming a movie star. They sort of treated it like, we're going to play it safe with this one because we don't really know if this comic book movie is going to pay off. And it ended up being one of the biggest successes of all the Marvel movies that they have out there. And it's almost like when they came back with the sequel, WWE had a chance to sort of make up for that first one, and they doubled down on it, and they did the same exact thing, almost like trying to treat Batista like he was trying to make them feel like he was too good for them and didn't want to be there. But when you go check out what Batista says to fans, what he answers on Twitter, what he posts up there himself, Batista wants to be a part of WWE. There's a part of Batista that really wants to wrestle at WrestleMania. He doesn't want to just come back and do the Hall of Fame. He wants a real thing. He wants to be a part of, house shows. He wants to be a part of TV. He wants to be a part of, of WrestleMania. He wants to have that goodbye match. He's, come up with his few different booking ideas, but for one reason or another, it's almost as if just Batista and WWE just don't mix right now, and WWE doesn't want anything to do with them. But out of the middle of nowhere, after Batista came out, that WWE hadn't even offered him a spot to return to SmackDown. It's almost as if WWE was like, oh, we didn't even know you wanted to be at SmackDown 1000. And the phone call was made, and Batista was booked, and now we have this Evolution reunion. At this time, this is kind of a weird time to do an Evolution reunion because not all the guys are on the same side. Definitely, it would be really easy to make all of these guys heels for one night only on SmackDown, seeing how Triple H pretty much revolves on his own universe, in the WWE universe, that is, because, when it comes to WWE on Monday Night Raw and SmackDown, Triple H is most of the time treated like a heel. Right now he's, reunited with Shawn Michaels and DX, so he's going to be a big baby face. But whenever he's mentioned on NXT, he's like the savior of wrestling that people are just clamoring to take over WWE and take it to new heights once Vince is ready to pass that torch. And people see Triple H as the guy who's going to get wrestling out of the rut that it's in right now. So This could go either way. Definitely my book. I think that it'd be easy for the fans to cheer Batista. But seeing how, Evolution was a heel group, it would be fun to see them come out and all play up being heels. I don't really know who they could go after on the main roster. There has to be some sort of payoff. They're not just going to come out there and deliver a promo, say we are Evolution, Triple H. He can't do the hair flip anymore because he doesn't have any hair. But, they just can't do that. And, there has to be something, whether if it's them, teaming up against Undertaker and Kane or something like that would be kind of weird because they're not going to be at the pay-per-view. But WWE's always got something going on. But to me, Evolution seems like it's going to be the biggest thing at SmackDown 1000. That's the one thing that I'm really hoping to see more than anything else. So we'll see what goes down.